Okay, Yvonne, everybody paints, but we don't all paint like a pro, like you. So can you give us some tips so that we can get a really good paint job?
Sure, the most important part is in the prep.
Okay.
That's where you're gonna see the difference. If you don't do the prep right, your end product is not gonna come out all that great.
So how do we prep?
So it helps to have good tools, and what I like to do is I like to organize everything ahead of time to make sure I have everything I need. But what we have here is we have various patching products. We have different and various sanding sponges that will be used for different applications. We've got our dust masks, which are a must, our painter's tape, we have a screwdriver so we can take off any of the wall plates, and then of course we have our rags, our drop cloths, and then our cleaners for the wall. So now that we've got everything all with our drop cloths, we're ready to go. We're going to actually start patching the walls.
Okay.
Now what I want is we're going to be using this Dynapatch Light. The difference, if you've ever patched with regular compound versus this is so light and it finishes smoothly.
Okay.
So I'll give you both tools and off you go.
All right, so I'm not sure, is this too much or am I okay with this much?
I would take a little bit off.
And how's my technique?
I would go to the side.
To the
Pull
side?
to the side to fill the gap, and then
So follow the way that the slash goes.
and then take off any excess with your knife.
All right.
So after we're done this, we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll sand. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna head to sanding.
Okay.
What I prefer is, I obviously have a sanding pole. This gets in a lot of areas and saves you from getting tired.
I guess if something's up high, or I don't understand why you would need a
because what
pole.
you are gonna do is you're gonna actually sand the whole wall from top to bottom.
You sand the whole wall.
The whole wall.
These are pretty cool safety goggles.
Yeah, you can sand in style.
Okay, so how am I doing?
Not bad. What I would suggest is actually when you start,
Yeah.
tilt this.
Oh, it swivels.
It swivels. Do your corners. And then I would also start and go in a pattern so that you know where you've sanded.
Okay, so once we've sanded the whole wall, what's the next step?
We'll clean.
Clean, okay.
What we use is we actually use this Eco TSP. It's a lot different than the old TSP.
I don't even know what TSP is.
Okay, well
Yvonne.
TSP is a general cleaner. You could use it even to take off wallpaper. Back in the day it was really lethal stuff.
Oh, okay.
But now with Eco TSP it's biodegradable, there's no phosphate so it doesn't sit in the water table. And the old stuff you'd have to wipe it on and then try and get it off before it dried. If not, your paint wouldn't stick. But with this new stuff you just wipe it on and you can leave it on. Alright, so we have pre-mixed this for you. Basically you mix 100 milliliters of this with 4 to 5 liters of hot water.
Okay, so that's in here, I'm ready to
That's
roll.
in here, it's ready to go. All you do is wipe on. You'll see some of the dirt come off, and after that, that's it. Let it dry and we'll be ready to paint.
Coming up. Are you sure you want me to do this, Yvonne?
Now Rebecca, now we're ready to start cutting in.
Okay, and so that's just basically going around all the edges before we roll.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now what I want to show you,
Yeah.
I know, here I am with all the cool stuff today. Now, standard brush,
Yeah.
new brush. This is ergonomically designed so that when you're cutting in, you're not going to get tired.
You don't get cramps in
Exactly.
your hands.
Let me show you.
Okay.
So when, for instance, if this is your trim, what you do is you actually don't put the brush down at the trim.
Okay.
Because what happens is as you push, your brush is going to fan out and then everything will get sloppy. What you're going to do is you're going to put the brush about a 1/4 inch away, push down, and pull. And did you see how the brush fans out and
Yes.
fills in that spot?
Yeah.
Now it's your turn.
Okay. How do I hold this? Like, I know this is designed for the hand, but where exactly do my fingers go?
Okay, so your finger goes on metal,
Yeah,
top finger goes on top.
like that.
Yep. And
Okay.
now what you want to do is make sure that you get enough paint on your brush.
All right.
So dip in. Oh, look at that. You're a pro already.
Really?
Yeah, just don't pull too much off. Don't put too much on. So what you're going to do is just get in there
And I don't want to go right to the edge. I
No.
want to go 1/4 of an inch.
a 1/4 inch and then push in and pull it
Fan.
across.
It's fanning. Look at that. Okay, I'm getting to the end of the tape here, Yvonne. What are we going to do at this point?
Well, that brush you're using, the flow line,
Yeah.
it is great, but Dynamic makes an even better product.
Okay.
It's new. It's called the Cutting Edge. And
Okay.
it saves you from having to tape.
It's the cutting edge.
Ooh, the cutting edge. And it's right here. So what's really cool about this is that, you know, say you're doing a stucco ceiling, and have you ever done one with a brush and you get your fingers all grated?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this is really neat. You pull this little button, you lift it up.
Oh, and it angles.
It angles. We're actually going to keep it straight for this part.
Okay.
You're going to roll it in. You start off on a bit of an angle, sort of like you did here. You know how you left the 1/4 inch?
Yeah.
So start off and then roll in.
So I'm without any tape. I'm
Without
rolling.
any tape.
Are you sure you want me to do this, Yvonne? How am I doing?
Perfect. And if you're a perfectionist like myself, putting all that tape on and making sure that I've got the same line all the way across gets to be a real pain in the butt.
That's great.
Isn't it amazing?
So now we can paint?
We can paint now.
Number 5, cool tools.
All right, so we've done all the cutting in.
Yeah.
So now we're ready to roll our paint.
All right, let's get rolling.
I know. Another good thing I like, these little green stripes, not only for decoration, you know what it means?
Nope.
If you see the green stripe again, that means you need more paint on your roller.
Oh, that's a cool little...
Yeah. So I'm gonna put paint on.
Yeah.
And again, we just go in, get enough on, and then we're gonna do the famous W technique, okay?
Okay.
So flip around. And here's our W.
There's a W.
Yep. And then see how all the paint is kind of like right there?
Yeah.
So all we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it back down and go back over your W. You give it a try.
Okay.
I know you can do this.
I hope so. Okay, so I get my roller in there.
Yep.
I'm covering the green stripes.
Don't be afraid to get dirty.
Okay. So I start at the top of the W.
Yep.
Can I do a large one?
Sure.
Just because I have this big, huge
If you have
roller?
lots of paint, do a large one. If you notice that you don't have a whole lot of paint, then do a small one. So that's
Okay,
good.
now back down.
See how down there,
Yeah.
you've got up there, it's a little bit,
Yeah.
it's not as painted as here.
Uh-huh.
So come back to the beginning of your
and
W.
start here to get the paint.
Exactly. Not
And
bad.
we're doing the W technique because my last name's Webster. That's why, right?
Isn't that like how it was invented?
Now that we've painted, we want to clean up.
Yes, very important.
But should you do 2 coats?
You should do 2 coats. I would let the first one dry a little bit and then see what missing spots you have.
Okay.
You can do that. It depends really on your paint, how good your paint coverage is.
Right, and probably what you're painting over.
Exactly.
If you're going light over dark, you probably need more than 2 coats.
Or if you do red, oh my gosh, you're looking at least 4 coats.
Okay. Now see, we finished all our coats. We're happy with our job and we want to clean up. What do we do?
Okay, well, what I always recommend is we want to try and keep all of this stuff out of the water system.
Right.
So, I've got a bucket of water here, and what we would do is we would, again, wrap your roller in the plastic, and then what you do is you just pop it off, and then you would take that to the local dump.
Oh, okay, so you take this in the plastic to the dump and they dispose of it properly?
Yes, and you would do the same thing with your, well, with your brushes. What you can do is you could take them, clean them in the water,
Yeah.
and then what you do is I would take the water to the dump as well, because they'll know how to dispose of it properly.
Okay. And what do we do about our painty hands?
Well, there's this great stuff over here. It's called Painter's Hand Cleaner.
Yeah.
It has lanolin in it because like a lot of the other products will dry your hands out. But what this has in it, it has plastic little scrubbers to help get all the stuff off. You know how women, we have cuticles and we don't want our cuticles to get all messy. So I like it because it scrubs it all off. It exfoliates and gets everything all off.
Okay.
It comes in multi-sizes so that you've got enough for just a little.
So thank you very much for all your tips.
Thanks for having me.
And our room is looking amazing.
I like it already.